My name is Nasarenko, the Ventura County District Attorney. I'm pleased to be joined this morning by Supervisor Janice Parvin, the District 4 Supervisor, Simi Valley Police Department Chief of Police Steve Shorts, Simi Valley City Manager Sam Argabright, Commander Greg Gonzalez, Commander Richie Liu, as well as the entire Simi Valley City Council, joined by Mayor Dee Dee Kavanaugh, Council members Joseph Ayala, Rocky Rhodes, Mike Judge, and Elaine Lister. The Ventura County District Attorney's Office has charged Sergio Andres Meji Machuca, age 27, Manuel David Ibarra, age 38, Heidi Nicole Trujillo, age 26, and Camilo Antonio Aguilar, age 32, each with 4 felony counts. Conspiracy to commit commercial burglary of 5-star jewelry and watch repair. Conspiracy to receive stolen property from 5-star jewelry and watch repair. Conspiracy to commit commercial burglary of Dr. Conkey's candy and coffee shop. And finally, conspiracy to receive stolen property from Dr. Conkey's candy and coffee shop. In addition, and importantly, each charge carries an additional punishment known as an enhancement. That enhancement is as follows: that the property stolen was in excess of $3 million and that the defendants acted together or in concert to take that property. Had this crime occurred 7 months ago, we would not have been able to charge those additional punishments because they did not exist. Thanks to the voter-approved Proposition 36, which became law in late 2024, prosecutors now have the ability to seek additional prison time for these types of losses and conspiracies. If convicted on all counts, and if the additional punishments are found true, these defendants face a maximum of between 6 and 9 years in state prison. For these were not teenagers burglarizing a local business to score quick cash. Rather, they were sophisticated and skilled professionals who used counter surveillance measures, a collapsible ladder, rope, and power tools to cut through a roof, tunnel into a wall, breach a safe, to take millions in watches, jewelry, cash, and other merchandise. But they met their match in the Simi Valley Police Department. Utilizing video from the alleged crimes, as well as 5 days before those alleged crimes and other surveillance methods, Simi Valley detectives located and identified the defendants, some of whom were actually carrying the stolen merchandise in multiple bags from 5-star jewelry and watch repair at the time of their arrest, while others were literally wearing the stolen jewelry. Thanks to the thorough and swift work of the Simi Valley Police Department, these 4 defendants were investigated, located, apprehended, arrested, and now prosecuted. This happened within 3 weeks of the date of the alleged offenses, bringing accountability and a measure of justice to the city of Simi Valley and the independent small businesses that make it such a tight-knit and supportive community. The defendants at the time of their arrest all resided in the San Fernando Valley. They were arraigned yesterday in Ventura County Superior Court and entered pleas of not guilty. They are currently being held in Ventura County Jail on $100,000 bail. It is my pleasure to introduce the Chief of the Simi Valley Police Department, Steve Shorts.
Thank you. What I'd like to do is I may recover some of the points that District Attorney Nasarenko made, but I want to kind of give you a timeline on how this unfolded for us. On Sunday, May 25th, at about 11:27, into Saturday, May 26th, till about 0400 or 4 a.m. in the morning. We had a burglary occur at Dr. Conke's Candy and Coffee and the adjacent business, which is 5-Star Jewelry behind me. The suspects entered the roof into Dr. Conke's and dropped into a storage area. Once they were inside that storage area, they entered the main part of the store and tunneled into the 5-Star Jewelry store. What's interesting is that the suspects, as they entered the main part of the store, they spray painted the cameras, and one of the things that the detectives picked up is that they were communicating in Spanish. The estimated loss based on the burglary of 5-Star was about $3.5 million, which was previously stated. At that point, the Simi Valley Police Department Property Crimes Unit took over the investigation. Normally, if you understand the process of policing, the detectives normally do a case review after the weekend and decide which cases that they're going to work on first. During that case review, they determined that on the day before, on Saturday, May 24th, at about 11:30 at night, and a burglary occurred at Simi Jewelers and Pawn Shop. That's located at 2513 Tapple Street in the city of Simi. In this particular incident, the suspects entered a vacant business adjacent to the pawn shop by cutting through an exterior wall and tunneled through that vacant business into the pawn shop. The suspects located the alarm and DVR systems within the pawn shop and disabled both of them. A secondary surveillance system within the pawn shop caught one of the suspects with a flashlight in their mouth and clothing which matched the suspects' clothing that were involved in the 5-Star Jewelry Dr. Conke's burglaries. During that particular incident, however, no property was taken. I don't want to speculate why it wasn't taken, but we have some idea, but we don't want to disclose that at this point. One of the things that the detectives picked up is that the MO was very, very similar between both cases. First of all, when you're dealing with professional burglars, one of the things that they immediately notice is that they use a sophisticated rooftop entry to cut access into the point. And after they enter an adjacent business, they're using tunneling as the method to get into their main target. The other part of that is the use of ladders, two-way radios, nighttime operations, counter surveillance, and camera tampering all point to organized, premeditated actions. When you define a burglary, just for clarification, burglary is the entering of a structure with the intent to commit a petty theft, grand theft, or some felonious crime. And the fact that it's planned, it's premeditated, is what makes it an actual burglary. So during the investigation, the Property Crimes Detective Unit reviewed surveillance footage in the Sycamore Village Shopping Center, which is this shopping center you're in now, and discovered some pre-burglary scouting footage. On Tuesday, May 20th, 5 days before the shopping center burglaries, 2 male suspects were captured on surveillance cameras scouting Dr. Conke's with a third, still unidentified suspect. Surveillance shows 3 suspects inspecting ceiling access camera angles, and sitting beside the shared wall between Dr. Conke's and 5-Star Jewelry. One of the suspects even mimicked the spray paint motion used days later to disable the security cameras. So through coordinated efforts with local, state, and federal agencies, Detectives utilized surveillance footage, license plate reader data, and forensic review of digital evidence to identify several suspects tied to a South American theft group, a network known for committing organized and targeted commercial burglaries. All suspects are Chilean nationals who have been in California for an undetermined amount of time. Over the course of the following days, detectives identified and began surveilling suspects Sergio Machuca, Manuel Ibarra, Camilo Lara, and Heidi Trujillo. Detectives conducted extensive surveillance and, with the assistance from the California Highway Patrol, arrested 2 suspects on Tuesday, June 10th. 2 additional suspects were arrested later that day by the Simi Valley Police Department Special Investigation Unit. During these arrests and subsequent search warrant, and that search warrant was executed in the 6700 block of DeSoto Avenue in Canoga Park, detectives recovered large amounts of jewelry, cash, and designer watches, many of which were confirmed to be items taken during the Simi Valley 5-star jewelry burglary. A stolen firearm from an unrelated Los Angeles burglary was also located during the investigation. Notably, some of the suspects were found wearing and or transporting items that had been reported stolen, further strengthening our case. All suspects were booked into the Ventura County Main Jail on felony charges, including commercial burglary, grand theft, conspiracy, and possession of stolen property. The investigation is ongoing, and additional arrests or charges are possible. It also should be noted that Sergio Machuca also had a felony warrant out of New Jersey for burglary. As of now, we have determined that we have recovered over $600,000 in confirmed stolen property or stolen jewelry and over $20,000 in cash, in addition to high-value watches such as Rolex, Omega, Tag, which match the 5-star jewelry inventory. We also recovered multiple watch boxes, black gloves, and other commercial burglary tools. One stolen firearm confirmed taken during a separate LAPD commercial burglary at a pawn shop where an exterior wall was accessed was also recovered. In addition to those items, some other significant items that were seized during the search warrant were 3 large pieces of art, Pink Panther artwork found inside the suspect's residence, linked to international groups of jewel thieves. They also found diamond testers, lock-picking tools, and practice locks recovered from the scene. Collapsible ladders and the bundles of rope were also located during the search warrant. We have footage of one of the suspects inside a Home Depot prior to these incidents and stealing basically some of these items from the store. As I mentioned before, the investigation is ongoing, but Simi Valley Police Department extends its sincere thanks to the Los Angeles Police Department, California Highway Patrol, and the FBI Major Theft Task Force for their partnership and assistance throughout this investigation. I think from my police department and my county partners, what I want to make clear to the public and people that choose to come to our area and commit crimes, that we will actively pursue criminal offenders when they commit crimes within our community. And we coordinate on a regular basis with our regional partners. Simi Valley is on the east end of Ventura County, and we're a port of entry between LA County and Ventura County, and we regularly have conversations with the criminal justice agencies within LA proper, and certainly into the San Gabriel Valley, just based on the 118, the 210 freeway, and all the other connecting routes. I thank you for taking your time out and coming to our press conference.
We will now answer a few questions.
Yeah, I have one. I've reported on a story about these Chilean gangs before, and they said, they're here on tourist visas. the whole point is they get in, they get out before you can catch them. Were you fortunate? Did they seem like, you know, permanent residents, or were they ready to leave for Chile or whatever in less than 90 days?
So we don't have any information as to what their intention is, and like I mentioned earlier, we don't even know when they entered the country specifically. What we're focused on when we're doing our investigation is behavior and characteristics that are going to give us individualized suspicion to focus on a particular group of criminal offenders, whether they're on travel visas, whether they're residents, whatever it is. And so that was the focus of the detectives. Through our investigation, obviously, we came up with that information about their travel visas, but I don't have any additional information on that at this time.
Chief, have you had inquiries from other agencies that have had very, very similar tunnel, blowtorch type safe burglaries at jewelry stores within hours of this one?
Without getting overly specific, because some of that is law enforcement privilege, I would just tell you that the detectives and investigators in this county, as well in the adjacent counties, do case review and compare similar MOs to try to determine which crew we're dealing with, because there's several of them, and then decide how we're going to work together on these cases. There may be some additional cases that are connected to this group. I'm not at liberty to discuss that, but believe me that that's being examined by outside agencies. Sure.
To answer your question, Eric, we have a dedicated prosecutor within the Ventura County DA's office that specializes in what we call burglary tourism crews or transnational theft groups. We knew as an office and working with the Simi Valley Police Department that this bore the hallmarks of a transnational theft group. What did we see in this case that we had seen in other cases? Casing establishments, patience, surveillance, identifying targets, using very sophisticated equipment to enter homes and establishments. To give you an example, totally separate case, earlier this year, a group of transnational theft defendants were sentenced to 14 years in state prison here in Ventura County for hitting a number of homes, including in Simi Valley. Our message to anybody who seeks to burglarize our small businesses, our businesses, as well as our homes, is don't enter. We will find you, we will investigate you, and bring you to justice and prosecution.
You describe these guys as professional and sophisticated. Is it unusual, or is it just the way you think these things go, that they seem to be very unprofessional in casing in place, that they would, like, you know, just advertise instead of, like, I don't know, sitting in the corner and drinking coffee and looking around subtly? Like, is that unusual? Or?
The professionalism comes from the type of equipment they use, the fact that they are able to drill in to barriers between businesses, open a concrete and metal safe, retrieve quickly the items from it. They selected this location after doing the surveillance and casing. That is atypical of many burglars. We'll take one or two more questions.
We had a case last year where there was somebody that was operating out of Santa Valley that was sort of acting as a clearinghouse for these people coming in. Do we think this is one of those instances? Are these guys maybe just the troops, or do we think that these were acting independently? Is there somebody up above them maybe that was kind of steering this?
Unknown, Lance. We don't have any information to indicate one way or the other.
Last one. All right, thank you, everybody. We'll do Spanish translation for those who need it right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.